Before her match against Zoe Stark, Lyra Valkyria was confronted by Sonya Deville, who said, "You don't have to worry about Shayna, she won't bite, unless I tell her to." Meanwhile, Becky Lynch is watching from home saying, "Well, who told Shayna Baszler to bite me about 4.5 years ago? Thanks to Cybele Office for reminding me of when they turned Shayna Baszler into a vampire for no goddamn reason." Nevertheless, I'm John Renton with my review of WWE Raw, the last 3-hour edition of WWE Raw, until the move to Netflix on January 6th from the Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana, once me. If I sound a little bit under the weather, technically we all are, unless we're almost up in space, it's because I'm in battling an illness. Don't worry, I'm good. It's flu season. I'm good. A couple personal matters I've also been attending to. Been a bit of a tumultuous last, 48 to 72 hours. Do not worry, things are good, and thank you guys very much for tuning in. I do also want to say that I'm going to be doing a lot of movie reviews in October. I'm going to be doing a lot of movie reviews in November. I'm going to push to 300. I've got a lot of shit lined up, so some wrestling shows might go on the back burner. This show should have gone on the back burner because, to be perfectly honest, there were moments on this show that actually kind of fit the narrative, but, whew boy, goddamn Christ. So, I like how Joe Tessitore, I think that's how you say it, and Wade Barrett are in the ring. The wrestlers are arriving. Joe is excelling at this. "You're doing amazing, sweetie." No, in all seriousness, he is doing great. Jay is celebrating with the kids and then with his own son. And you know what? He's over. The fans like him. I'm still not happy that he beat Braun for the Intercontinental Championship. And I get it. Like, they wanted a feel-good moment. And yeah, Jay hadn't won a singles championship, but still. Fucking still. I think it was too soon to take it off of Steiner. That being said, he talks to the fan, yeet, all yeet, 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 motherfucker, all yeet, yeet, goddamn, goddamn. He then thanks his family, "Mama, we did it." Good. In all seriousness, good. Meant a lot to Jay. Here's Steiner basically to say, "Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to bash your brains. Bash him right at..." No, he's not going to do it. He's not going to spear him. You were the better man. And Jay even said, "There are a lot of dogs out here." So there you are. And then Steiner gave us a great meme, a great reaction face that a lot of people were turning into a meme just, during Raw, because that is what the internet does. So, Balor is, he has travel issues. And then Judgment Day arrives, and we see a lowrider without the top, and Liv has her top down. Stop thinking about it, Kier. I know you're thinking about it. I don't have the energy here, Kier, so just get some help. Kier's a good guy. Can't help it. That being said, when you're walking around with your top down in Evansville, Indiana, you're going to get noticed. So, we then have Rey Mysterio against Xavier. This is because Xavier is tired of being seen as the third wheel. Insert your own jokes there. It's more like Ray Xavier. Or X-Ravier. That was better. Again, not feeling well. It was a match. Ray moving this well at 50, and yet, many like myself struggle to even be able to run 50 yards without gasping for breath. Stem cells work wonders. So, Ray's mask conveniently comes loose, and then Xavier gets to roll up 1, 2, 3. So, yeah, it's playing into Xavier. Will he, won't he? He's riding the edge of a lightning bolt. So then Sonya basically says, you don't have to worry, Shayna won't bite unless I tell her to. So this pretty much confirms, by the way, when they move to Netflix, if the stud line happens to win the tag team championships, they're going to have a celebration. It's going to make those scenes in Portrait of a Lady on Fire and in Blue's Warmest Color seem tame by comparison. If you guys get those references, you are thinking, what is wrong with me? And if you're not thinking what's wrong with me, you are new to the channel, and if so, hi. So, Xavier's talking to Kofi. You didn't mean to do that, did you? No, don't worry. But, oh, by the way, I'm going to be facing, Jey Uso next week. Except, I told Pierce, I think you deserve it. Meanwhile, I think Cross is in the background. Somebody was I think it was Cross. I'm not entirely certain, but it is what it is. I don't know why they're doing this stuff with Cross, because it's not interesting. Cross's time to be interesting was like a few years ago. And Lyra Valkyria, woo. I still don't know what this is. But I like Lyra. One, she has a unique style. She looks incredible. Zoe Stark was her opponent, and Shayna and Sonya are in the corner. And it was what it was. The crowd is kind of dead. Evansville's always been kind of a tough crowd to really get into it. Evansville was a mainstay of the touring schedule for Memphis Wrestling for years. And in fact, Zoe actually helped Jerry Jarrett establish Evansville as a weekly town. She actually remembers the first wrestling show ever in Indiana, and I'm not just talking for Memphis Wrestling. So nevertheless, what is Sonya doing? Commentary says. I go, her best, and I love Sonya. Sonya's gotten by more on just look and charisma, and she has an MMA background, and she hasn't been awful in the ring, but I gotta be perfectly honest, I think it's been lost. I don't think it's coming back. So, basically, Zoe won, and then Kaden and Katana showed back up. I honestly forgot about them. Apparently, Katana suffered a busted nose, so she has her cute little Mardi Gras child mask. I didn't know they allowed children at Mardi Gras. And, yeah, there we are. It was what it was. Punk walks by Pierce while he's talking to security. And Jackie is with Lyra and K&K, which, to be perfectly honest, I like Lyra, and I think Caden has potential. I think they got what they can out of Katana or Casey Catanzaro. But Isla and Alba show up, and shout out to Rox Al Ghul 89. Roxy, I hope you got your handle right. But the fact that Isla and Alba are 5'7", 5'8", thereabouts, and they're towering over them, was hilarious. Also, Isla, that outfit, Jesus, with at least some restraint. My God. Anyone that has a chance to get to be with her, they better treat her right. Good grief. It's like they filmed my fantasies. I didn't say that. Shut up. So, Hell in a Cell's lowered. Pierce has security in there. And it's CM Punk coming out to the ring. He touches the steel. He's building the whole thing. Drew's out in a suit. You know who you are. You know you're thinking about it. You know who you are. It's a particular individual that watches this, that knows all about the last matinee. They'll get it if they're watching this. So Drew's out, and Drew basically says he will beat Punk so badly his wife will leave him. You'll be gone after bad blood. You've been injured for 4 months, and you haven't even been back a year. And then Punk's basically like, or Drew's like, you taught me hate. Punk then is like, I'm kind of voiceless tonight because I really don't have anything to say anymore. Like, we said everything that we need to say. I'm filled with rage. I spent 4 weeks in a hotel because I don't want my wife to see me like this. And I'll send you to Scotland in a box. I'll see you in hell. You'll be praying to me. There you go. It's good stuff. Well built. Truth shows back up. I said Miz will cost Braun the match, or he will turn heel on Truth. Guess which one of those he did. Kathy, good Lord. Good Lord, Kathy Kelly. So, yeah. WWE shop is selling a roll of toilet paper with Dominic's face on it, and you've jumped the shark on this stuff, guys. You've jumped the shark on it. The LWO took on Judgment Day 2000. 35 minutes, by the way, after the last match ended. And look, I know it's a 3-hour show, and we're going to 2 hours at least until they go Netflix. And I think Netflix will vary. I think it could be 2 hours, it could be 2.5, it could be 3. Watch them go to 4 hours because they're spending billions. So, remember when Dragon Lee actually could be seen as important? Those days are gone. Balor ends up pinning Wild after, or Balor ends up, distracting, or pushing Wild off after Liv distracts, and JD pins Wild with the Devil Inside. Remember that horrible movie, The Devil Inside? So, back from break, Balor says he doesn't have a hurt. I'm sorry. Liv is just, she's a title-taking, she's a home-wrecking, title-taking, man-stealing woman. She ain't no redneck woman. She's a high-class broad. Here's Rhea. And Rhea's all thrilled. Rhea brings out the shark cage, as I heard is a shark cage. Priest then attacks from behind, and at first they have the numbers advantage. Rhea bounces Dominic off, Liv and Dominic off, takes Dominic to the shark cage. Liv runs away briefly, even after selling a shoe being thrown at her. That was kind of funny. And Priest does eventually get taken out. So you know what? I'm going to do my Bad Blood predictions after this, but I'm going to say I think this match actually might go a little bit different than some Liv fans think. Sheamus wants to fight with Butch, a good old-fashioned Donnybrook. Oh, joy. Package on Pete Rose. He got in the WWE Hall of Fame. He didn't get into the Baseball Hall of Fame because he bet on baseball. And he was a natural as far as being at WrestleMania 14, 15, and 16 getting tombstone by Kane. And also, and I should have mentioned this at the beginning, Dikembe Mutombo, no, not today, did so much for his home country of Congo. So much with his fame, so much with his money. Gave and gave. He died of brain cancer. Fuck cancer. Dikembe is going to meet Pete Rose at the pearly gates and do that. We should all wave a finger and block something in his honor. Rest in peace, Dikembe Mutombo. Rest in piss, Pete Rose. I don't care if he was a great baseball player. Read up on him. It's not just the gambling. Trust me, it's not. Io and Kairi talk about taking back the tag titles. Io could yell at me in Japanese all she wants. I don't have issues. Gable and Kofi had a match. They made me not care about American made. Xavier pulls Gable's leg when Kofi was trying to, I think, go for the Trouble in Paradise. And then eventually Gable won with the Chaos Theory Emerald Suplex. 1, 2, 3. And Xavier and Kofi are arguing, which means Kofi's going to inadvertently, accidentally cost Xavier the Intercontinental title. If Big E is not coming back and they're going to split the New Day, okay. But if Big E's going to come back, they got to do it soon. Like, even if he's just going to come back in a managerial role, something. But he's loving his life and he's doing what he needs to do. So here comes Bronson, basically says he'll be the last monster standing. Oh boy, another Wyatt tape. They're going after the Judgment Day. That means the Wyatts are going to be tag team champions, which will make the titles even more pointless. So Ilya is out with a torn ACL. God damn it. He could be back by March, maybe in time for WrestleMania. I think he's not going to be back till at least after WrestleMania. It's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Gunther is here, and then here's Sammy. We get more back and forth, more usual stuff. But basically, Sammy says, you're scared because you beat everybody. I'm the one that you couldn't beat. You're scared it'll happen again. Gunther says, losing to you was embarrassing. My father was there and had to say in Austrian, why did you lose, to a bum like Sammy? And Zayn says, you disappeared because you were embarrassed, and now you're just proving to your father that you're also a coward. Brief brawl. We have the match. Good stuff. I wish they would make Gunther's title reign a little more important, and I mean that by, he didn't defend the Intercontinental title all the time. But, I'm going to talk about it here in a second, but they're kind of turning me off to Gunther being champion. So, there was a blonde that was in incredible shape. Said, Dominic, my biceps are bigger. I don't know who she is. Sign her. Whoever she is, put her in more shows. Good grief. So anyway, is Paul Ellering okay? This has been asked by myself and a friend of mine down in Texas. Austin Truth took on AOP. Oh, look, Cross is trying to get through to Miz. And evidently he did. Because Miz pulled a Ric Flair at Halloween Havoc 95 and attacked Truth and left. Heel Miz. Oh, boy. I don't think face Miz is going to last very long. It never does. Truth got pinned. Nobody cared about AOP because they're AOP and nobody cares. Bad Blood is at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to try to be off in time because I also have a movie to possibly watch that night. We Live in Time. Kathy is with Gunther and Kaiser. They're going to have Gunther versus Sammy next week. Why? Why not Saudi? Unless... I understand when to boost the TV, but come on. Come on. Steiner wants next. I guess maybe he's going to face Gunther and Saudi. Here comes Bronson against Braun Strowman. Last monster standing. There was a choke slam through the announcer's table, and then Bronson, here comes Bronson, went through a pile of chairs. And I gave up. Because I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be setting up stunts like this. If I hate it in other companies, I'm going to hate it here. There was a DVD through a couple tables. There was a barricade bump where it looked like they hurt some fans. I'm thinking they're plants because it was a little too convenient. Yeah, they cut away from it, but I don't know. Hopefully everybody's all right, but if they didn't plan that spot and tell people to get the fuck out of the way, that's stupid. That's a loss. That's several lawsuits. Pierce is checking on him. Security's checking on him. The referee will not do a count even though 2 tsunamis have been hit. Bronson grabs the ref. He grabs Pierce. And then Strowman does a dive onto the pile. And then they do a superplex spot. And oh, look, the ring collapsed. Clear indication they were going to do this, as pointed out by my friend in Texas. They had the original posts and not the LED posts. And it looked like Bronson was going to win, but then suddenly the steps are in the ring, and here comes Seth Pheasant Rollins with a stomp. And then Bronson's down, and Braun wins. I hope that Seth is okay, but he hasn't been gone that long, so I really hope that he's all right. I really hope he's all right. That being said, I don't know. I'll try to review some Raws next month, in October. But if I skip over some and mostly focus on movies, you'll understand. 2 hours will be easier to get through, but it is what it is. So agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.